Hi, I'm Scott Starratt with Starratt Wealth Management. I want to touch base today on a few thoughts that we have and to share with you what our positioning for our portfolios will be like over the next little bit. We've really had a little bit of a volatile year this year. The beginning of the year started with what they call the media calls the Magnificent Seven. So these would be companies like Microsoft and Nvidia, Tesla, etc., that have really increased in value after a really, really bad 2022. This has driven the stock market up to a high point, not an all-time high, but a high point. The last couple of months have meant that these stocks have actually sold off as people question whether they should be worth as much as they are and whether their profits are going to continue to be strong. That's caused the overall market to take a pretty big drop. But the reality is the market for a lot of companies has been down a lot so far this year. So, for example, to October 30th, the Russell 2000, so this is the top 2,000 small and mid cap companies in the United States, is down 33% from its high. The average New York Stock Exchange stock is down 30% from its 52-week high. So you do have significant areas, especially things like financials and other areas of utilities that have really gotten hit over the last year. That's an opportunity in our view. So we have decided that it's important to look at maybe Canadian financial companies as well as small mid-cap companies to take advantage of the opportunities. That being said, we continue to have a significant amount of flexibility within the portfolio, meaning that we have a lot of money still in the defensive sleeve. These would be managers or investments where they shouldn't be that up or down depending on the market, as well as we continue to have a good amount of cash in portfolios. So what's going on in the future? Well, that's still a large amount of uncertainty, as we still don't know what the impact of higher interest rates are going to have on the overall economy. So far, jobs have been really stable. There hasn't been a whole bunch of cracks yet. That being said, there are signs that cracks are forming. For example, over a third of mortgages in Canada are going to be renewed over the next little bit. That compared to about 15% of US mortgages. That's significant because, as we know, some of these mortgages in Canada were locked into 2-3% interest rates that are going to come and mature at 5-6%. So that creates an affordability issue for some key markets. As well, one of the things that we really looked at is the fact that interest rates have gone up a lot, and will that eventually have an effect on the economy? So far, like I said, the effect's been relatively small, and a lot of people feel that that'll continue. But there is also the risk, and whether it's geopolitically related or whether it's another issue that comes out that we don't know about, there definitely will be some volatility, I think, going forward over the next years or so. That does present opportunities, but it does also give us pause to make sure that we're protecting client portfolios as we can. The other thing that's important, of course, is that we always look at planning as the key part of the portfolio. So whether we have a formal financial plan or an informal one, the important thing to recognize, I think, is that we look at financial planning as a keystone, and a lot of our plans are done at return rates of 4 to 5%. So what that does is it allows us to have a little bit of a safety buffer in there at a reasonable rate, and that we aren't planning that people are going to achieve a 7-8% return in their portfolios. So going forward, like I said, planning is going to continue to be an important part of our focus, as is making sure that we're protecting the client portfolios, but at the same time looking for opportunities to take advantage of any dislocations that we're starting to see right now. If you do want to talk to us anymore and find out more about our thoughts, or how it's reacting to your portfolio, or if you aren't a client yet of Starratt Wealth Management, please feel free to reach out to either myself, Jim, Grimshaw, or Angela, and we'd be more than happy to chat with you.